Okay, let's talk about my favorite subject, pre-construction sales.
Yep, because for some people, it's a smart investment.
And for others, it's a nightmare.
Like the kind where you put down 30% and 2 years later, there's still nothing. Just a pretty rendering and a whole lot of excuses.
Like the crane never moves. The website keeps promising phase 1 almost done. You walk into your sales appointment and half of them are sold and it came on the market a week ago.
But here's the thing, pre-construction can actually be a great move if you know what you're doing.
Well, I guess that's the key. Working with people who have the experience with developers, good legal support, and agents know exactly who's behind the scenes.
Now, let's talk about when it doesn't go right.
Okay, so some developers don't even have the permits. They're never gonna maybe complete the buildings. Only what they have, maybe a flashy website, some AI-generated drone footage, a fancy sales presentation.
And suddenly, you're buying into a fantasy. For some people, that was their savings for years, and they lost that money because of these dishonest builders.
We've seen some projects stall for many years, some never get finished, and unfortunately, it's the buyers who get stuck with a problem that's really almost impossible to fix.
Now, so how do you protect yourself? Well, let's start with the basics.
Be careful. Check the developer's history. Have they built and completed anything recently in this area? Make sure you have an agent that's going to ask the right questions and their brokerage has a lot of years experience in the area and know the developers who they support and don't support and are new on the scene. Those are the ones you got to be a little more careful with. Your realtor needs to have a list of questions to ask the builder when you're presenting an offer or an LOI or a letter of intent or a reservation. That needs to include a due diligence period, and you need to be asking pointed, specific questions of that developer to check their financial situation, their actual sales. Smart agent can ask the right questions. Sometimes we see a development come on the market, and within 7 days, it has 50% sold. And we don't think that's a real sales. Are they all cash buyers? Are you doing mortgages here? What percentage are from the United States and Canada? These questions are going to tell you right away whether these are real sales or not, because the last thing you want to do is to buy into something that is not successful and the sales registered on that sales list and the availability list are not real. The project needs to be successful and register real sales so you're confident it's going to get the financing and the money through the pre-construction deposits to actually build this property. You don't want to be the only buyer and it say that it's 50% sold, but it's only been actually one real sale, and the rest of them are friends and families and investors and this sort of nonsense. And we have a list here at Diamante Realtors of about 20 more specific questions to ask developers that are building pre-construction. How do they do their contracts? Are there holdbacks till we get title? There's a lot of really important things that we can ask developers on your behalf.
Yes, and just like Brian says, work with a good agent and licensed agent is very important. Someone who actually knows the market and isn't just reading a brochure. With years of experience that knows the product and can actually help you through the process.
Also here in Baja Sur, we have an MLS system. There's very, very specific requirements for a pre-construction project to be actually listed in that MLS system. Make sure your buyer representative is an MLS agent and is working with MLS listings that have far more specific requirements to protect you, the consumer.
And of course, the contract. Please read it. Make sure there are real protections in place, holdbacks for finishes, delivery deadlines, penalties for delays, and all that good stuff.
The contract is as good here in Mexico as the people that sign it on the dotted lines words. It's really important to have a fair contract that has payments based on performance and not dates, and also to have a holdback where you get possession of the property when it's 90% paid approximately, and a holdback in escrow where you're actually paying for the final payment when the title is ready for you to sign and get title and they finish up their documents with the government for delivery.
Have also a solid lawyer or a closing company to review it. No shortcuts. Someone that has years of experience and guides you through every step of the process.
Yes, I agree. Here at Diamante Realtors, we work closely with Secure Closings Baja. We have a lawyer that can review all of our contracts for developers for pre-construction.
Here in Diamante Realtors, when we work with clients buying pre-constructions, we are with them every step of the way. From reviewing their contracts to walking the site to getting updates from the builder, we're checking in until you get your keys. So Brian, is pre-construction worth it?
That's a very good question. I would be extremely careful. We have a couple developers we're working with now that had many years experience, and yes, they deliver, they build on their own money. There's no financing. They're all cash buyers. You know, they're super strong developers. And yeah, there's a few, but I would say in most cases, most everyday buyers that aren't real investors looking for a great bargain, the headaches with the delays and the time frames and the possible not getting built, there's difficulties all pre-construction. It has to be a great buy.
So it is worth it, but only if you're protected, only if you have the right people on your side.
I would say yes, that, and only if you're the right buyer. This is more speculative purchasing. They can take 12, 18, 24 months to purchase. You really need to be buying at a discount, and you're using your money to build a project as it goes along. And this builder goes bankrupt, and they have no history, they don't have a reputation. If something happens, it's going to be very difficult to get your money back.
It might turn into the biggest regret of your life.
A pre-construction nightmare.
So ask questions, do your homework, don't get sold just on renderings.
Okay, so let's take one of our projects right now, pre-construction, Vista Los Sueños, finishing up the fourth building, sold out. You know, I'll show you a clip from one of our original videos when it was a bare lot, and we were promising pre-construction, but was a builder who had 15 years building with them and developing, and we helped them design their projects. We know it's going to be successful in the market. And you know, these condos are worth a lot more today than what many people bought them at 2 years ago. And it's been an incredible investment. But at the same time, there's been headaches. Slow getting the documents, slow getting things done, it's slow getting the title. You know, there's frustrations. It was slow getting electricity hooked up. Many people are not going to want to deal with it. But for the people who did make the plunge and trusted us, it's been a fantastic investment for them. That being said, there's a lot of projects that I tell our team of agents to no, that's not going to work. That doesn't hit the market. That's a problem. Be careful with that. Make sure they have the documents. How many have really sold? You hear this from me all the time with our agents because we have to protect our clients' investment and make sure if it's pre-construction, we have to be very wary of a lot of it. And people fall in love with these renderings. And we have to calm down and say, there's a due diligence period we need to help you with to check to make sure you truly want to make this plunge here because we have our doubts and we need to present those doubts to you. At Diamante Realtors, we've helped clients through hundreds of pre-construction deals.
And if you're thinking about buying pre-construction in Southern Baja, let's talk.
Thanks for watching us, Diamante Realtors here, Mexico in a minute, and our video on exposing pre-construction nightmares here in Baja California Sur. I think it's really important that people are critical of this specific investment. We are with our developers, we are with our clients, and we are with our fellow agents.
Not everything on Facebook is real.
No?
No.
Okay, thank you very much. Hasta la vista, muchas gracias.
Adios.
I better record maybe something less violent in my phone. Oh yeah, exactly. What's your name again? Alondra.
Motherfucker.